back to Inside Demon Athletics, where you can learn what goes on from an athlete's perspective. This week, the Demon football team took on the Cincinnati Bearcats in Cincinnati. It was another tough matchup considering Cincinnati is in the Big 12. Luckily, the big Power 5 games are behind them, and they can build on their win over Alcorn State. Meanwhile, women's soccer played Abilene Christian University in Abilene last Thursday. It was a hard-fought match, but ACU hit a banger in the 75th minute. The girls continued to fight and created many opportunities, but could not find the back of the net. The game ended in a 1-0 loss. They start conference play this week against the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. Meanwhile, Demon Volleyball attended the UNT-UTA Invitational. They lost to Little Rock, UT Arlington, and the University of North Texas. They will look to bounce back at the Golden Eagle Classic that will take place September 19th and 20th. These will be their last games before conference play starts up. Hopefully they can get everything tidied up. Let's get into my conversation with Annie Stowe, where you can learn about the impact injuries have on athletes both mentally and physically. Annie is a redshirt junior from Trumbull, Connecticut. Annie played 1 year at Ecker College before coming to NSU in 2023. Annie, you came to NSU after a strong freshman season at Ecker College. What made you choose NSU?
I chose NSU mainly because the soccer at my old school wasn't exactly what I wanted. When I was originally recruited there, the head coach that I liked left a week before our preseason.
Oh, wow.
So while I enjoyed my short time there, I wanted something a little bit more challenging. So I chose NSU for soccer.
And then unfortunately, only a few games into your sophomore season and your first season at NSU, you were sidelined due to an injury.
Yes. I tore my meniscus off the bone pretty early on, still out of conference play. So I was able to get a medical red shirt.
I mean, was it painful, like, in the moment?
Yeah, at first I was, like, a little, like, it was a foul. I definitely got, like, fouled, so I was like, oh, shoot. But it didn't really hurt or anything. My knee felt a little unstable, but I think I actually kept playing for a little bit.
Yeah, I think you did. I remember that, which was kind of crazy. And the trainer was like, oh, it's probably not that bad, but, like, it was unfortunately that bad.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, you had to get surgery for that one, correct?
I did, yeah.
What did the rehab and, like, just the recovery process look like for you?
The meniscus was a little different than normal ACL just because you have to be on crutches for, like, 6 weeks after. So the beginning portion of it was a lot worse than it normally is, I would say, just because it's extended. You can't do much on crutches and stuff. As soon as, like, I got off the 6-week mark, it goes along really quick. And that was only a 6-month recovery time, too.
Did you, like, have to go to rehab at, like, a outside facility, or did you do it through NSU?
I went home to get my surgery, and I went to a PT place at home. It's a little bit unconventional what they do. It's like they center it around, like, soft tissue massage, and they do a lot of, like, dry needling and stuff like that. So, like, the first day after surgery, I was in there, and I got, like, my whole knee, like, covered in dry needles.
Oh, my.
And stuff like that. And then it kind of helped me with my range of motion and stuff to make that better.
That's good that it's looked like that it was that type of rehab, because I know some people's rehab, it's just, like, a bunch of heavy weights, and it's, like, painful. And
that's the one thing with the meniscus. Like, you can't do too much too quick, so it's a lot of just, like, getting your range of motion back slowly and not trying to, like, rush back into it, because your meniscus is, like, your cushion for your knee. So
since you got injured so early in your career at NSU, and then you had to go home to get surgery, do you think that impacted maybe, like, your relationships with the team, or, like, how did that affect you, like, mentally?
Yeah, I think at first it definitely did. It kind of helped having, like, Emily Senator on the team, because we're from the same state, at least. So that was a little bit easier, but it definitely sucked. Like, I only got a couple months with everyone, and then I had to go and get surgery. So it was a little tough, but I think that I was able to come back for the spring and everything and get back into it.
Get acclimated with the team.
I think that helped, yeah. But it definitely was, like, a little sucky, especially because you guys went to the, like, pretty far and lost in the final. So it kind of, like, sucked to not be a part of that, like, experience, just have to watch it at home.
Yeah. But we're glad to have you back, obviously.
Yay.
And then junior year, you made your return to the pitch, but once again, a few games into the season, you went down with another injury. And I feel like it was almost the same situation. You literally kept playing.
Yeah.
And the trainer was like, oh, like, just sit out a few weeks and it'll be fine. And then can you walk me through, like, what that was like?
Yeah, that one was definitely a shock. I had actually torn my ACL the first time back in high school. And when that happened, I couldn't walk. My knee swelled up, like, huge. like I knew something was wrong. Couldn't straighten my leg, couldn't bend my leg. So when this one happened, I definitely my knee felt like unstable after. I couldn't really move side to side. But like my knee did not swell up at all. Like I could straighten my leg, I could bend my leg fully. So it was just like in my head I was like, okay, maybe I just like hyperextended it or something. I kept playing for a little bit on it. But then like the same thing, like my MRI comes back and it was just a clean tear. Nothing else was torn in my knee besides my ACL. But yeah, that one was kind of a heartbreak just
I
because.
feel like you're downplaying. You're like, just a clean tear. Like, that's a 9-month recovery.
Yeah, but it was like in your head, I was thinking like, okay, I might, like it might just be something small, but it turned out not to be. So I feel like it it was worse than the previous ones because it just got let on a little. But.
Yeah. So then you had to go through the whole recovery process again. This time it being what, like 8 or 9 months?
Yeah, this one was 9-month recovery. I was on crutches for a week or two, but slightly different. I was able to finish out our season with you guys and then just go home and get it over Thanksgiving break, my surgery. And then I was back again to take finals and stuff. So actually, I mean, it's not a perfect situation by any means, but if I had to pick, that would be the perfect scenario to get it because I didn't have to miss any time with the team. I could get it done over break, and then I was right back for.
Yeah, the timing kind of just worked out the best way that it could for the given situation.
Exactly.
And then that was your third knee injury in about like what, 4 or 5 years?
In 5 years, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever question if you wanted to go through the process again, like after that last one?
It's just, I think for me, it's like I want to be able to give it up on my terms and not have an injury be able to like determine that for me. So I think like one part of it is just like stubbornness, like strong-willed. Like I don't want that to be the reason that I stop playing. But yes, it definitely has crossed my mind a lot about like what I would do if just because I am a senior, I have technically one more year left. So I don't know what would happen if I got injured again. But yeah, it's definitely a tricky situation. But I think like you should never give up on something. Like you should never quit just because something unfortunate happens. So
yeah, I kind of figured that'd be your answer because you're like one of the most strong-willed people on our team. Like I feel like you're like what, a bio major, chem major?
Physics and chemistry.
I knew it was one of the hard majors, and like I swear every day, like we'll have 7 a.m. lift, and she's at the library studying. Like she's getting her stuff done no matter what, even if it's like not a good situation. And then, what were the biggest challenges you faced this past go around, physically and mentally, in your recovery process?
Physically, it was a lot easier. I got a different graft than I usually got. I got quad this time instead of hamstring. So it was like very easy getting back to everything. I didn't have too much like muscle loss. Well, in the beginning, yes, but it was really quick to get it back, quicker than my last one. So physically, I would say just getting back into soccer shape. I feel like normal fitness comes like slightly easy to me. Like I have no problem like getting fit for like the beep test or like if I have to run something, but I feel like getting back into like quickly changing directions on the field, I think that what I would say that's my biggest thing that I'm even still working on now. And mentally, I feel like I just kept getting kicked when I was down. I had a couple other personal things going on within this injury that kind of like really tested a lot of me. But in the end, I'm always grateful for any setback I get. I feel like it just makes it that much more worth it. And like, if you go through a lot of hard things and something good happens from it, you appreciate the good a lot more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think mentally wise, just the hardest part was just like grinding it out every day, like thinking everything happens for a reason and like being there for everyone when it was hard for even yourself to be there.
Yeah, that mindset definitely got you through it. And like it was like evident to us. You always showed up for us too, so like we were grateful for that.
Yeah.
Also, what kept you going like during the hard moments or the hard days? Like was there like a person that you could like text or call back home or anything like that? Family?
Definitely my family. I feel like my parents are like my biggest like, just a little background. My dad works 18 hours a day. So growing up, like seeing him like never complain. Whenever he was home, he would always have a smile on his face and like be happy to hang out with his kids and his wife, like our dogs and stuff. So I think seeing that for my whole life growing up, it was like I can never like complain about, like no matter what someone has it worse, like you should be grateful that you get to wake up every day and get a chance to recover. Like so many people are paralyzed or like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like something like that. Like seeing someone that is so dedicated to what they do and like hardworking, it kind of just like always reminded me to like push through.
I feel like you've definitely like adopted those traits from your dad because like you're like the same way in our eyes. What advice would you give to an athlete that may be going through like the same thing you went through?
Always bet on yourself, and if you fall, you better get back up.
I like it. We're so glad to have you back on the field this season. I like to end every episode with like a fun question. What's your go-to pregame song and snack?
Pregame song is probably "Bring 'Em Out"
Bring 'em out, hey!
by I don't know who, but just because at my high school team that was like our first song that we would all play in the locker room, and everyone would get like so up for it. And pregame snack, I don't really have a set snack per se, but I like to eat a lot, so like a meal, I would say. I don't like to be like hungry during a game or something.
I agree.
So.
A lot of people are like, I just have a bag of fruit snacks. I'm like
no,
I need like
to have
a whole meal.
I need to have a meal. Yeah, same. Or else
Right.
I'll like pass out or something. I don't know.
Agreed. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Murphy.
And SU Soccer will play Stephen F. Austin University on Sunday, September 21st at 1 p.m. at the Demon Soccer Complex. This is a huge matchup considering SFA knocked them out of the tournament last year in overtime. Demon football will get to play someone their own size this week in Prairie View A&M on Saturday at 1 p.m. at Prairie View. Tune in to Inside Demon Athletics next week to hear from another Demon athlete. Thank you, and as always, Fork 'em Demons.